They never asked you the constitutional question behind the unemployment insurance program. It's June 29th, 2026. Welcome to yes2hellwith.com. Have you ever applied for a job? Of course. You filled out an application, you were hired, you went to work, you received a paycheck. Perhaps taxes were withheld, perhaps benefits were offered. Everything seemed perfectly ordinary. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, at what moment did you become part of the unemployment insurance system? Did someone ask for your permission? Did you sign a contract with the federal government? Did you negotiate the terms of unemployment compensation? Did anyone explain the constitutional authority under which you became a part of that system? Well, the answer is no. And that is because the system does not generally operate through individual agreements between the worker and the federal government. Instead, it operates through statutes. Congress enacted the Social Security Act. The states enacted unemployment compensation laws. Employers operating within those statutory frameworks became responsible for unemployment taxes and reporting requirements. Employees working in covered employment became eligible for benefits if they later satisfied the statutory conditions. That is how the legal system explains it. Notice what happened. The employee did not become obligated because he personally signed an agreement with Congress. The employee became part of the system because the law classified his employment as covered employment. That is an important distinction. Now, the Liberty Dialogue system asks a different question. Not what does the statute say, but by what constitutional authority does the statute reach this relationship? Those are two entirely different inquiries. A statute may describe how a system operates, but a statute does not answer the prior constitutional question. Where did the authority come from? Who bears the burden of proving that authority? What constitutional delegation authorizes this exercise of government power? Those questions come first. The Liberty Dialogue system follows the same order every time. Authority, jurisdiction, status, standing, application, obligation, enforcement, and all of this under the greater umbrella of presumption. Notice where obligation appears, near the end, not at the beginning. Why? Because obligation cannot be assumed. It must rest upon something that comes before it. Authority, jurisdiction, status, and standing. Only after those questions have been answered can obligation be meaningfully discussed. That is one of the greatest differences between statutory reasoning and constitutional reasoning. Statutory reasoning often begins by asking, what does the law require? The Liberty Dialogue system begins by asking, who first established the constitutional authority to impose that requirement? Those are not the same questions. One assumes government authority, the other requires government to demonstrate it. That distinction matters. Because if we begin every discussion with the statute, we have already skipped the first constitutional inquiry. The founders did not write the Constitution to begin with statutes. They wrote the Constitution to define the source and limits of government power itself. The statute comes later. Authority comes first. So the next time someone says the law requires it, perhaps the first response should not be, what does the law say? Perhaps the first response should be, show me the constitutional authority that permits the law to reach this relationship. That is where the Liberty Dialogue system begins. Not with assumptions or presumptions, but with proof. Because liberty is preserved when the government demonstrates its authority before it exercises power. And as always, may truth reign supreme.